When love feels one-sided, should I stay or go? I, 25F, live with my boyfriend, 27M, and lately I've realized how differently we see things. He often misreads my intentions. If I'm quiet, he thinks I'm angry. If I try to solve something practical, he says I'm controlling. Small moments turn into big fights, and I end up comforting him when I'm the one hurt. The final straw was finding a private chat where he complained about me filling out a vet form for our dog. He twisted it into me trying to belittle him. It broke me. I love him, our home, and our puppy, but I feel unseen and constantly walking on eggshells. Leaving would mean financial stress and losing stability, but staying means losing myself. I just don't know if love is enough when understanding is missing. TLDR, my 25F boyfriend 27M misinterprets everything I do as criticism or control. I love our life together, but I feel unseen and exhausted. Not sure if I should stay or leave. She's finally changing, but I don't feel in love anymore. My girlfriend, 34F, and I, 28F, have been together for 7 years. The first couple of years were great, but after that, things slowly fell apart. She stopped taking care of herself, quit her studies, and spent most of her time at home playing video games while I kept things going. I still cared about her, but over the years, I felt more and more neglected and disconnected. About 2 months ago, I told her I was unhappy. Since then, she's actually made real changes, taking care of herself again, actively looking for work, making plans for us, and trying to be a better partner. Objectively, things are improving. But emotionally, I feel like I've already checked out. When we go on dates or even kiss, I feel distant. Part of me wants to be hopeful, but another part wonders if it's just too late, like the spark and love faded while I was waiting for her to change. I don't want to break her heart, especially now that she's trying so hard. We live together and have a cat, and I care about her deeply. But I don't know if love can come back once it's gone. TLDR, my girlfriend is finally making big changes after years of issues, but I feel emotionally detached and unsure if I can fall back in love. Should I keep trying or accept it's over? My dad moved to America decades ago and still has no life outside home or casinos. My dad, 61M, immigrated from China to California in the early 2000s. He never learned much English, so he's always stayed in his comfort zone, only eating Chinese food, avoiding new things, and rarely talking to anyone outside our community. He's introverted and worked nonstop for years, so now that he finally has free time, he doesn't know what to do with it. He has no hobbies, no close friends, and spends most of his time at home or playing poker at the casino. Whenever I suggest something new, he just says, "There's nothing to do in America." We've had a rough relationship. He used to be angry, distant, and fought with my mom a lot. But after a recent wake-up call from family friends and a serious talk between us, he's been trying to change. I want to help him find purpose and maybe even joy again, but I don't know how to reach him. TLDR, my Chinese dad, 61M, has no hobbies or social life after years of isolating himself in the US. He's trying to change, but I don't know how to help him find meaning or connection. How do I tell my unstable roommate I don't want to live with him again? I, 24M, live with my friend, 25M, and we're both in the same grad program. Living together has been exhausting. He's insecure, constantly talks about himself, lies to sound tough, and gets defensive or even aggressive. I've beat someone up before, I have a bad temper, etc. He's also said things like, "Everyone ends up abandoning me," which makes me feel guilty, but I can't keep dealing with his drama. I've suggested therapy, and he agreed but never followed through. I'm already juggling school, work, and family stress. I just don't have the bandwidth for this. Our lease ends soon, and I need to tell him I don't want to renew or live together again. Problem is, we share the same friend group, and I don't want to cause unnecessary tension. TLDR, my friend/roommate is insecure, emotionally draining, and sometimes aggressive. I don't want to live with him after our lease ends, but don't know how to tell him without damaging our friendship or friend group dynamics. Found photos of my husband with another woman at my dad's house. My husband, 45M, and I, 40F, have been together almost 20 years and have 4 kids. He recently took a job back in our hometown and has been living with my dad to avoid a long commute. At first, things were great. He called often and came home every weekend. But then the calls stopped. He started going out drinking and his visits became rare. One night, I noticed a lot of money missing from our joint account and later saw a woman named Vanessa, 33F, tagging him in Facebook photos, at bars, restaurants, and even inside my father's house. In every photo, his wedding ring was off. I took screenshots and confronted him. His response? She's just a coworker. He hasn't reached out since, and I'm crushed. I don't want to break up my family, but I can't ignore what's happening. TLDR, husband working out of town started acting distant. Found photos of him with another woman, including at my dad's house, and now he's gone silent after being confronted. She cheated right before we planned marriage. Should I confront or walk away? Hey everyone. I, 28M, was in what I thought was a serious relationship with my girlfriend, 25F. We'd been together for a year, spent almost all our time together, traveled, met each other's families, and were literally at the stage of planning marriage. From the start, we agreed on a clear boundary. Whatever happened in the past stays in the past, but if either of us had any romantic or sexual history with someone, that person wouldn't remain in our lives. We both promised to respect that. Yesterday, while using her phone, we have open access to each other's. I found messages between her and a guy she once called just a friend. They weren't just friendly, they were explicitly sexting and even talking about meeting to sleep together. What hurts most is that I'd always had a gut feeling about this guy. Nothing concrete, but my instincts were screaming that something was off. Now I regret not trusting myself sooner. I feel completely betrayed. I've been loyal, defending her to my parents, and building a future around her, and this is what I find. I'm torn between confronting her and ending it on the spot, or just walking away quietly and focusing on myself. Part of me wants to make her feel the pain she caused, but the other part knows revenge won't bring peace. How do I even process this? Should I hear her out or cut ties immediately? TLDR, I, 28M, found out my girlfriend, 25F, has been sexting and planning to sleep with a guy she claimed was just a friend. We were planning marriage. I feel betrayed and don't know whether to confront her, walk away, or try to get closure. My mom, 50F, depends on me emotionally and doesn't want me, 17F, to study far from home. I'm a 17F from BC applying to universities, and my dream school is the University of Toronto. Their life sciences program fits me perfectly, and I easily meet their requirements. The issue is my mom, 50F. She's extremely emotionally dependent on me, has no close friends or family nearby, and I'm her only child. She's already uneasy about me applying to any out-of-town school, so I'm terrified to tell her I want to go across the country. I know she'd be completely alone if I left, and I feel guilty. At the same time, I'm craving independence, we argue often, and I feel suffocated living with her. Going to Toronto would be a fresh start, a chance to finally grow. There's a local college with a great accounting program that basically guarantees a stable career, but my passion is in science, not accounting. I know choosing to leave would hurt her, but staying feels like giving up my own life. TLDR, my emotionally dependent mom doesn't want me to go far for university, but I want to study science in Toronto. I feel guilty leaving her alone, but I also need to live my own life. My girlfriend's jokes are starting to really hurt. Should I bring it up or move on? I, M30S, have been dating my girlfriend, F30S, for about 6 months, and while I like her a lot, I've noticed a pattern of comments that feel rude or condescending. She says them jokingly, but they sting, and they happen often enough that I'm starting to brace myself when we're together. Some examples: she mocks the clothes I wear, takes over tasks while criticizing how I do them, makes mean comments about strangers, and even teased me for using the bathroom too often. When my cat died, I told her it felt quiet at home, and she replied, "That must be in your head." I've mentioned being bothered a couple of times, but nothing has changed. I don't know if it's worth pointing out every time or if I should accept that this might just be her personality. I care about her, but her constant little jabs are really wearing me down. TLDR, my girlfriend frequently makes jokes or comments that feel rude. I've tried bringing it up, but it keeps happening. Should I keep trying or end things? My friend assumed she can stay on our couch every week. How do I set boundaries kindly? One of my best friends, 36F, recently moved away because her boyfriend got a job in their hometown. It was their choice to relocate, but now she still has to come back to our city 1 to 2 nights a week for work. Here's the issue. She told a few of us she'll be staying over weekly, and it's pretty clear she plans to stay mostly with me, 36F, and my husband, 39M, since we live closest to her job and have a comfortable home. The thing is, we don't have a guest room, just a couch in our living room, which is where we unwind after long days at work. We love her, but we both value our peace and privacy. Having someone over every week indefinitely feels like a lot, especially since this arrangement could last for years until she finds a new job closer to home. She did technically ask, but it was more of an assumption than a discussion. I want to handle this kindly. She's a good friend, and I don't want to make her feel unwelcome or strain our relationship. But I also know I can't commit to hosting her every week long term. TLDR, my friend, 36F, assumed she can stay at our place 1 to 2 nights every week indefinitely after moving away. My husband, 39M, and I value our privacy, and we don't have a spare room. How can I kindly but firmly set boundaries without damaging the friendship? My boyfriend stood me up on Halloween and doesn't know why. I, 22F, have been with my boyfriend, 23M, for 3 years, and he's always been loving and reliable until Halloween. We had plans to meet at a club after separate events, but he never showed up. He texted hours later saying he was on his way, by which point it was too late and unsafe for me to go alone. The next day was Dia de los Muertos, which was especially meaningful since I recently lost my grandpa. He had promised to help me with the altar and food, but completely forgot. His only explanation was, "I don't know what happened," and later said he's been emotionally checked out from stress in his doctorate program. I told him I needed space, but I'm still so hurt. This behavior is totally out of character for him, yet his excuses feel hollow. I want to forgive him, but I don't know how to move forward when I feel so disrespected and disappointed. TLDR, boyfriend stood me up on Halloween, forgot an important cultural day for me, and can't explain why. Not sure how to rebuild trust or if I should. My boyfriend shuts down when he's upset, and I don't know how to reach him. My boyfriend, 28M, and I, 26F, have been together for 2 years, and things are mostly great. We love each other and rarely argue. But whenever something's bothering him, he completely shuts down. He gets quiet, distant, and avoids eye contact. I can always tell something's off, but when I ask, he says I'm fine and insists nothing's wrong. Then he stays withdrawn for a couple of days before acting totally normal again, like nothing happened. It leaves me feeling anxious and helpless. I've tried giving him space, asking gently, even just being there silently, but nothing helps. I worry this pattern will eventually turn into resentment or emotional distance. TLDR, my boyfriend shuts down whenever he's upset and refuses to talk about it. I can sense when something's wrong, but he always says he's fine. How can I encourage him to open up without making him feel pressured? Met the perfect girl, right before moving for my dream job. I, 23M, recently started seeing this amazing girl, 22F. We've only been on a few dates, but it already feels like something rare. She's funny, kind, and we just get each other. The problem? I just got offered my dream job, something I've worked toward for years, but it's in another city. She's made it clear she doesn't want to move, and I can't pass up this opportunity. It feels cruel that I finally met someone so incredible right when I have to leave. I don't know whether to try long distance, enjoy the time we have left, or walk away before things get deeper. TLDR, met an amazing girl right before moving away for my dream job. Don't know if I should try long distance or let go. I'm tired of being my boyfriend's caretaker instead of his partner. I, 22F, love my boyfriend, 25M, but being with him feels more like parenting than partnering. If I don't plan something, it doesn't happen. I have to remind him to clean, cook, eat, even small things like paying bills or texting people back. He's sweet and respectful, but his lack of independence is exhausting. We've been together 3 years, living together for 2, and while he's made some progress, like cooking once a week, it still feels like I'm carrying all the responsibility. When I try to talk about it, he says I don't see his efforts. But I do. They're just not enough for a healthy balance. He's also extremely antisocial and hesitant to do new things. I'm the one planning dates, organizing everything, and trying to keep our relationship alive. I want to feel supported, not like I'm raising someone. I care about him deeply, but I'm starting to wonder if love alone is enough when one person is doing all the emotional and practical labor. TLDR, my boyfriend depends on me for everything: plans, reminders, basic chores, and while he's kind, I feel like his mom, not his partner. I'm drained and unsure if I should keep trying. I want marriage. He wants me to move abroad without it. You've been in a long-distance relationship, 8 years total, 6 apart, with your UK-based boyfriend, 36M. You, 32F, want marriage, something you've always been open about. He accepted your proposal months ago, but later admitted he's not sure marriage is something he'll ever want, though he says he's committed forever. Now he's bought a house in the UK countryside and expects you to move there, leaving your home, family, and job. He's never been willing to move to your country. You could relocate legally, but you feel uneasy uprooting your life for someone who won't commit in the same way. He's loving and loyal, but his refusal to marry and his decision to buy the house anyway feel like signs that your priorities don't align. You're torn between protecting your future or trusting that love alone is enough. TLDR, boyfriend 36M, wants me, 32F, to move countries for him, but he's unsure about marriage, which I've always wanted. Should I take the leap without that commitment? I think my boyfriend is quiet dumping me, and I don't know whether to fight for us. I, 29F, have been with my boyfriend, 34M, for about 14 months. Things used to be amazing. He was over almost every night, helped with my daughters, and felt like a real partner. But in the last few months, everything's changed. His drinking and depression have gotten worse, and it feels like he's slowly pushing me away. He's become distant, picking fights, and constantly accusing me of not caring about him. Every time I try to reassure him, he either shuts down or later pretends nothing happened. The last time we saw each other was at his mom's birthday dinner, where he got very drunk. Since then, our communication has basically disappeared: dry texts, unanswered calls, and no plans to see each other. I feel like he's quiet dumping me, ending things slowly without actually saying it. I'm exhausted from trying to fix things when he won't even meet me halfway. But I'm also scared that if I stop reaching out, he'll use that as proof I don't care. TLDR, my boyfriend has become distant and barely talks to me after a year together. I think he's slowly fading out of the relationship, but I don't know if I should keep trying or just let go. I think I've fallen out of love with my husband after 11 years. What do I do now? I, 33F, have been married to my husband, 33M, for 11 years, and lately, I've realized I might have checked out emotionally. Looking back, I'm not sure I was ever madly in love with him. He's a good man, treats me well, and I trust him, but there's no real spark or deep connection anymore. Over time, I've built up resentment toward him because of small things I never communicated about. Now I feel disconnected. I can't really talk to him about my feelings, vent about work, or even share my excitement about things I love, like traveling, which is my biggest passion. He just doesn't seem interested, and I find myself turning to online spaces for comfort instead. It's heartbreaking to admit, but I don't think I love him anymore. Maybe I never truly did. For those who've been in long-term relationships and realized they were emotionally done, what happened next? How did you know when it was time to leave? And what helped you move forward? TLDR, after 11 years of marriage, I don't think I love my husband anymore. We're disconnected, and I feel more comfortable sharing my thoughts with strangers than with him. What should I do? I lost 55 pounds. Now my husband misses my old boobs. I, 29F, worked hard for 2 years to lose 55 pounds before my wedding. I'm healthier, fitter, and finally confident in my body. But my husband, 32M, keeps making comments that make me feel awful. He misses my old DD breasts, I'm AC now, shows me old photos, and asks if they'll come back when I have kids. He encourages push-up bras and glute workouts and even points out other women's bodies, including my friends and my sister. Recently, I found in his search history that he'd Googled why my sister has bigger boobs and a bigger butt than me. I felt sick. I told him his comments hurt me, but he just brushed it off and said, "You can't have it all." I finally love my body, but he's making me feel like I should hate it again. TLDR, I lost 55 pounds and feel great, but my husband keeps comparing my smaller chest and butt to other women, even my sister. I keep breaking up with my boyfriend, 43M, because he won't prioritize me. Am I the problem? I, 44F, have been dating my boyfriend, 43M, for about 2.5 years, and we keep falling into the same cycle. I feel neglected, break up with him, miss him, and then we get back together. He says I'm the toxic one for creating instability, but I'm starting to wonder if I'm just standing up for myself. He has a 19-year-old daughter who struggles with drugs and lying, and his entire life revolves around her. I understand she needs help, but it's like there's no space left for me. I've spent holidays, birthdays, and even my mom's illness completely alone. Whenever I ask for more connection or talk about a future, he shuts down or blames me for causing drama. He says marriage isn't for him, but also claims I ruined the trust by breaking up. He refuses counseling and brushes off my feelings as if I don't understand because I don't have kids. I care about him deeply, but I'm tired of feeling like a side character in his life. TLDR, my boyfriend prioritizes his troubled daughter over everything, avoids talking about the future, and blames me for our instability. I keep breaking up and coming back. Is it my fault, or am I just realizing this relationship will never change? I, 43F, take solo trips because I have more PTO, but my husband, 43M, feels hurt. I, 43F, have a lot more paid time off than my husband, 43M, and I've started using some of it to take solo trips, short getaways to nearby cities, or just time for myself. Every time I do, he gets upset. He says traveling is something we should only do together. The issue is, he's a teacher, so taking time off during the school year is really hard for him. Most of his PTO goes toward kid-related things anyway. I use my PTO for that too, appointments, sick days, etc., but I also want to use some for me. He insists I wait until summer so we can go together, but I can't take months off like he can. I've told him he's free to take solo trips too, but he doesn't want to. I love him and want us to share experiences, but I don't think it's fair that my time off only goes to chores or childcare while he gets upset if I enjoy my own. TLDR, I have more PTO than my husband, and I use it for solo trips. He feels hurt because he wants to travel together, but our schedules don't align. Not sure how to resolve it fairly. He said he'll never love anyone like his first love. How do I stop feeling second best? My boyfriend, 35M, and I, 30F, have been together for 6 months, though we've been close friends for 3 years. Recently, he told me about his childhood best friend, a woman he loved deeply for 14 years, who never loved him back. He said he's moved on, but admitted he doesn't think he'll ever be able to love someone as much as he loved her. Hearing that shattered me. I know we all have pasts, but it felt like he was drawing a line, that no matter what, I'll never measure up. He reassured me that he loves me deeply and that I'm precious to him, but I can't stop replaying what he said. I feel jealous, small, and insecure. I want to handle this maturely, but I don't know how to shake the feeling that I'm his consolation prize. How can I process this without letting it poison our relationship? TLDR, my boyfriend said he'll never love anyone the way he loved his childhood best friend. I feel like I'll always be second best. How do I deal with this maturely? After 11 years together, I feel like our relationship has lost its spark. I, 31F, have been with my boyfriend, 32M, since we were 20. He's a good man, loyal, kind, and responsible. We have a stable relationship and 2 cats together. On paper, he's everything a great partner should be, but lately, I feel like something's missing. For the past few years, my sexual desire for him has faded. Sex feels routine, I do it out of love, but I'm not really there. The hard part is, I still feel desire for other people. Last winter, I even developed a crush on someone else. I was honest about it, and although nothing physical happened, it really hurt him. Since then, things have been tense and off. We've always dreamed of moving to Spain together. I spent a month there recently, 1 week with him, 3 weeks alone, and for the first time in years, I felt alive. I made friends, felt independent, and started imagining a new life. He, on the other hand, wants to wait another year to move so he can be financially ready, but I'm afraid that staying might mean losing myself again. I love him deeply, but I'm not in love anymore. Part of me wants to move on and explore this new chapter, while the other part can't bear to hurt someone who's never done me wrong. TLDR, together 11 years. Love him deeply, but physical attraction is gone and our paths are starting to diverge. I feel alive on my own and unsure if staying together is the right choice.